Pakistani Infantry Battalions in East Pakistan in 1971 war. The conduct of Pakistani battalions in East Pakistan has been subject of various massive exaggerations, most notorious being Brigadier Sultan's account and General Tajammul's account. This short podcast, which will cover the role of Punjab Regiment Infantry Battalions in East Pakistan in 1971, is aimed at summarizing what really happened and presenting a accurate and balanced viewpoint rather than motivational propaganda or all that nonsense. 6th Punjab was the senior-most Punjab Regiment Battalion in East Pakistan. The battalion moved to East Pakistan by air from West Pakistan in April 1971. It performed outstandingly. Initially, the battalion was 9 Division Reserve, but later placed under command 107 Brigade. The battalion was ordered to recapture Haripur, where 3rd Independent Squadron, heavily outgunned by superior Indian tanks, was nearly wiped out. Brigadier Rizvi, in his Punjab Regiment history, did not claim that 6th Punjab captured Haripur, but Shaukat Raza and the 2017 badly written history of Punjab Regiment, which is more a chapa of the initial original Rizvi's book, made this false claim. The battalion fought in the defensive battles at Khulna till ordered to surrender on 16 December 1971. The battalion was awarded 2 Sitara Jurats, 3 Imtiazi Sanads, and 2 Sitara Jurats, 3 Tamgha Jurats, and 11 Imtiazi Sanads. It lost 76 men in fatal casualties, which proves that it fought some very harsh battles. In summary, the battalion fought very well in East Pakistan and ironically was taken prisoner of war for the second time in its history, first being at Hong Kong in 1941. Interestingly, the battalion attack on Haripur, though its success remains contested, resulted in death of Indian tank squadron commander reportedly hit by a bullet, admitted in Indian accounts. 8th Punjab. This battalion relieved 25 Punjab in northwest part of East Pakistan as part of 23 Brigade of 16th Division and was distributed over a very wide area. Very limited fighting took place in this battalion's area of responsibility. It received nil gallantry awards. It lost just 11 men in the war, which shows that it hardly fought a serious battle. In summary, the battalion was lucky in being deployed in an area where very limited fighting took place. "12th Punjab. The battalion was part of 107 Brigade of 9th Division and fought some tough battles around Jessore and Khulna. It received 3 Sitara Jurats, 3 Tamgha Jurats, 2 Imtiazi Sanads. It lost 47 men in fatal casualties. The battalion was initially part of 16th Division, but on arrival in East Pakistan was shifted to 9th Division. Punjab. By all definitions, this battalion was the finest Pakistan Army Infantry Battalion, much ignored because of exaggerated accounts of Sultan and Tajammul and many others. This battalion fought really outstandingly, although much ignored. They did not have a Sultan or Tajammul. This was the bad luck, or whatever. The battalion was part of 57 Brigade of 9th Division and played an outstanding part in the war. Its most notable action was the famous tank infantry ambush at Kushtia. Gallantry awards. The battalion received one of the highest number of gallantry awards, 7 Sitara Jurats, 3 Tamga Jurats and 2 Imtiazi Sanats. They lost 35 men, which shows that despite all the odds it faced, the battalion was intelligently handled. I may add that in 1965 they were part of one of the very sadly incompetently led attacks of the war, where they abandoned a body of one of their officers, Khatlani, whose body was never recovered. So they must have learned from 65, and in 71 certainly the battalion was very sensibly commanded and led and lost just 35 men, despite the fact that it fought some very serious battles. To summarize, 18th Punjab, an outstanding battalion of the East Pakistan War. 21 Punjab RNS. 21 Punjab was the divisional recce and support battalion of the 9th Division. It received 1 Sitara Jurat and 4 Tamga Jurats. They lost 38 men. The battalion reached East Pakistan on 13th September 1971. Its notable operations were clearing of Sundarban, clearing of Mukti Bahani enclaves in Kushtia, and Battle of Khulna. 23rd Punjab. The battalion was initially at Dhaka and shifted to 117 Brigade of 39 Ad Hoc Division in October 1971 and saw action in Lakshambari area. Sadly, the battalion was part of a formation commanded by one of the most sadistic divisional commander, Rahim Khan. I don't know, somehow my father likes him, but he was very tough as a divisional commander. And this gallant battalion, despite its bravery and its proven merit in various actions, received no gallantry award. They lost 76 men killed in action. I saw this battalion closely in Okada cantonment, where I was commanding the 5 independent squadron. And what I liked about this battalion's officers were that they drove one of their commanding officers crazy, who had a nervous breakdown. Very interesting. So I liked this battalion. And then it was commanded later by our G2 training Colonel Zulfiqar, a very interesting man, very tough as G2 training. He gave hell to Asif Khatak in debriefing in the our famous exercise in Quote Najibullah, Dorian Darian, but that is another story. He was my squash partner in Okada and a very interesting man, Colonel Zulfiqar. Not originally 23rd Punjab, but I think 5 Punjab. 25 Punjab. The battalion was part of 23 Brigade of 14th Division and later 23 Brigade under 16th Division. 2 companies of this battalion were ambushed at Pabna by Bengali rebel units and insurgents and lost 85 killed. 2 companies of the battalion served under 34 Brigade of 16th Division. The battalion was rather miserly awarded. It received one Sitara Jurat, one Tamga Jurat, and one Sitara Bisalat. They lost one of the highest casualties in Pakistan Army history, losing 147 men. The highest casualties of this battalion only equal those suffered by 27 Baluch Iraqi support, which we will discuss in a subsequent podcast. This battalion also destroyed a PT-76 tank and captured its crew. Despite its massive sacrifices, the battalion was ham-handedly dealt with in gallantry awards. 30 Punjab. The battalion moved from Sialkot to East Pakistan. Initially, it was part of 14th Division and later 39 ad hoc divisions 117 Brigade. When this division was raised in September 1971, the battalion saw considerable fighting in Comilla sector. Again, because it was led by a very sadistic GUC, they were ham-handedly dealt with in gallantry awards. They lost 75 men, which shows that they fought hard battles. They received just one Sitara Jurat and 3 Tamga Jurats. 31 Punjab. The battalion was again part of 2-2 Brigade of 14th Division, sadly commanded by one of the most sadistic and controversial general officers, blamed for being an intriguer and for cowardice and treachery by General Niazi in his book. The battalion was deployed in Sylhet area where Pakistan Army was heavily outnumbered. 2-2 Brigade defending a massive area, massively long area from Tahirpur to Latu, and this brigade had only one regular infantry battalion, 31 Punjab. The battalion received just one Sitara Jurat and 2 Tamga Bisalats. They lost 94 men, which shows that they fought some very hard actions. In summary, the battalion fought outstandingly but was ham-handedly dealt in gallantry awards by a sadistic GUC. 32 Punjab. The battalion took part in 25th March operations at Dhaka, known as Operational Searchlight, and was then moved to Rajshahi to join 34 Brigade of 16th Division, where it was ordered back to Dhaka during the war, but could not make the link up as Dhaka was surrounded and returned to Rajshahi. They received 2 Sitara Jurats, one for the CO Colonel Taj, who was actually Jeevan but acting command of this battalion, and 6 Tamga Jurats, 1 Tamga Bisalat, and 3 Imtiazi Sanats. They lost 67 men. The battalion fought outstandingly and its performance was much appreciated because luckily it was part of 16th Division, who had one of the most dynamic and most just and balanced General Officer Commandings, General Nadir Hussain Shah. 33 Punjab. The battalion was part of 93 Brigade of 36 Ad Hoc Division and was deployed along with 31 Baluch in north central East Pakistan border. They received 1 Sitara Jurat and 1 Tamga Jurat. They lost 59 killed. The battalion fought well as part of the 36 Ad Hoc Division. This was a very, sort of a backwater. It was not an important sector, but was overrated and exaggerated by Brigadier Sultan in his book, which is more of a propaganda leaflet. 34 Punjab. The battalion was Recce and Support Battalion of 16th Division and fought over a widely dispersed area from northwest tip of East Pakistan to Bhairab Bazar in extreme east. They lost 19 killed. Sadly, because they were dispersed and a relatively new battalion, they were not awarded any gallantry award. Although the battalion's anti-tank platoon detached to Bhairab Bazar with 33 Baluch destroyed 6 Indian tanks. Just imagine that the only Nishan-e-Haidar of East Pakistan was given to an officer who it was claimed had destroyed 4 Indian tanks. But this battalion, having destroyed 6 Indian tanks, just one of its platoons, received nothing. '50 Punjab. This was a newly raised battalion sent to East Pakistan by air in November '71. It was mostly dished out and scattered in 9 division area and suffered heavy casualties. In total, they lost 50 men. A newly raised battalion callously treated and received no gallantry award. This was expected from 9 division because it had an artillery GOC who was not a very operational kind of a commander, and sadly this was the fate of the battalion. Here we come to the end of this podcast as far as the Pakistan Army Infantry Battalion in East Pakistan was concerned. Part 1 dealing with Punjab Regiment. In Part 2 we will cover Baluch Regiment. In Part 3 we will cover the FF Regiment. Thank you very much.